Now that I've got this operational again, one of the things I'd like to do is run the trains, but my first intuition is to actually go through and continue fixing stuff. What I've got here is I've noticed that I don't have smoke off my B and one of my A units, my dummy A unit. So I'm going to have to tear into those guys and get an idea of what's going on here so I can see if I need to replace the fan motors or the resistors or the smoke resistor, not resistor, but the smoke unit itself, and get that thing going. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You don't see it much right now, but the A unit here is actually smoking. Let me see if I get some smoke here. Just barely, but it was earlier. But over here, you can see my B unit. Yeah, it's not doing so well. You can see here. No, I can feel it's warm. So either that tells me that the fan motor is not working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check into that. That's gonna be an open the top and take a look at what's going on there. And over here, I need to check the switch and make sure that the actual smoke switch is actually turned on for this unit, because either it's that or I've got a burnt out smoke unit. So one of the things that I do notice that is that well, the first thing I did though, before I even tried anything with this unit, was I actually did a factory reset on it, just to make sure that everything was working right too, that it wasn't getting some strange signals. So that is going to be my next on the next thing that goes to the bench over here. Come on, let's go. Next thing that is going to go to the bench. Oh, and being it's Saturday, I think I'm going to have to clean up that bench before I start any more repairs. That's quite the mess there. So while I was working on the TMCC issue, Luke was continuing to do the getting the buildings wired up above in the city, doing a great job on that. But let's go into a little more detail on my troubleshooting for the TMCC thing that took me almost 2 years to figure out. So one of the things I noticed is if I put my hand over the engine, it blocked the signal, and so temporarily I tried putting tinfoil over the top of the engine, and it actually worked fine. So what I did was I grabbed purchased some duct tape, some foil duct tape, and I put it underneath the tracks here, and I thought that would probably take care of it, because just the foil, I call it the tinfoil train, I put the foil on top of the F7s and it worked just fine. But apparently the foil that I put underneath the tracks here wasn't enough, and to top it off, I actually went ahead and busted out the Sawzall, cut a hole in the bottom of the layout here just so I could access this part of the mountain, and that was no easy feat. This is me tearing into the wiring, and I figured, since I've had so many issues, it was the Trainmaster that was giving me issues, what actually sends the TMCC signal out to the track, and so I replaced it with a Trainmaster, a newer one, and that still didn't fix the problem. So I was stumped there for a moment, and then I went back to thinking that I had an issue with a short between the ground, the U, and the positives on the track all over the place, because I was moving the track quite a bit to work on switches. And even though I did find a couple shorts, they weren't enough to actually cause any problems. And with this, I went into and started looking at the ZW, switching wires around, seeing if that was a problem, thinking that I had a problem with my ZW. Apparently not. Everything's working fine with it, thank heavens, because that's a spendy replacement.
Look at that.
That's
fine.
Then I started working on
outside rail,
tearing the switches apart.
Outside rail, but
and that didn't do anything either.
Since I'm connected.
So after buying some additional switches, verifying that I wasn't having any issues with shorts there, replacing those, I took a break and actually went ahead and worked on replacing the smokers on the Polar Express for my son so that they could have some smoke running around the Christmas tree this year. Or that was last year, back in December. In this shot you can see where I had actually removed the train master, and I was working on that thinking that was the problem. And you see all my wiring that's all over the place there, just troubleshooting this whole thing. And on the in the middle of the screen there you can see my bus bar. I actually created a ground. I was running tons of copper wire all over the place underneath the tracks, next to the tracks, just like suggested, just to see if I can get that going. And that would solve the problem. Didn't do it. And here's another shot of what Luke was accomplishing with getting some of the scenery taken care of. And again, that's looking really good up there. So after all that time of working on wiring and putting foil into the tracks and the whole shooting match, what I finally ended up doing was underneath I pulled the cab off of the shell off of the F7, and in the top of the roof there I actually placed some of that foil tape up there on the top there. I don't have it in this shot. Apparently my picture that I took of it I can't find, but what I did was I put the foil tape in the top there, and then I lined it with electrical tape so you couldn't see the foil tapes, also preventing any kind of shorts or anything like that from damaging the circuit boards if that foil tape ever got too close to them. So that actually ended up working. And I also you can see down there in the lower picture there a little bit of the clay pitcher sticky tack pitcher hanger upper clay there, holding the antenna for the F7 in place, because the little pillar that the antenna was mounted on was broken, so it was just bouncing around in there also. So I had a couple different issues I needed to resolve with that, but now it's running just as intended, and we're having a great time with it. You'll see in the next picture, the next video here. So thank you for watching. I think now that we have some of the technical difficulties taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and start working on scenery, getting some cars shored up and working properly, and spend a little more time running trains. Boy, that was always a disappointment, not being able to fire things up and just walk in there and run some trains around for the kids and such. So now that we've got that taken care of, I just can't wait to start enjoying the hobby again and get away from all the technical stuff. So once again, more videos to come this year now that everything's working properly, and I can't wait to get them going for you. Thank you. Have a good one.